And here we are with our second to last tag. Our prompt for day 13 is tea bag, and I am back on a manila tag. So my last one, this will be the front and the back for days 13 and 14. And I have been lucky enough to receive a big selection of used tea bags. And I say that because I don't drink hot tea. My husband doesn't drink hot tea. We aren't hot tea drinkers. So I never have actual tea bags. Like I can get tea stain and coffee stain and stuff like that. But I always feel a little bit bad about just like making a cup of tea and then having the tea bag and then not drinking the tea. So if I'm ever doing dyeing, I'll hold on to the tea bags. But anyways, long story short, I was gifted by this amazing Australian Dina a selection of tea bags, and I've been using them. I've been using them for a couple years now, and I'm still working through the bags. So this is one of them, and it is really delicious. It's totally one of my favorites. I just feel like the excess tea dye that's on it is very like rust dye feeling, which I think is fun. So I wanted to cover about 2/3 of the tag, and I tore the edge of the tea bag because I didn't want that harsh line on the like overlap. I wanted that to be the actual stopping point. So I tore the tea bag. I laid down clear gesso. Now, when you're doing this type of collage, you have a few options. You can do clear gesso, though it's like kind of like the least recommended. You could do collage page. You could do matte medium, fluid matte medium. You could even do a gel medium if you put a little just add a little bit of water so it's not so thick. There's a couple things that you could use a glue stick, of course. Some people will go Mod Podge. Excuse me. It's not my favorite, but whatever options that are out there, feel free to use what you have, I guess is what I'm getting at. I could have also stitched it on or stapled it on, but I did choose gesso, clear gesso in this case. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. And like when I have excess stuff like this, like it's a pretty large piece of the tea bag, I'm not going to throw it away. And it ends up making a comeback. So it's a good thing I didn't throw it away. But you can kind of see what my space looks like to the right there. It kind of just looks like that outside of a view as well. Camera view is what it is. This again, I wanted to talk a little bit about that paintbrush. So I love mark making tools. So that paintbrush that I'm using, I have actually sharpened the end of it to do sgraffito work into almost dry acrylic, like still damp acrylic. And I used it a little bit before in one of the other tags to help open the hole in the tag opening, but I just did it again, and I love it. I love having that extra tool on hand. So just a little tip from me to you, a little trick, little double usage of your tools there. And then I didn't make you sit through it, but I used the dirty water and I put some beautiful stripes on the manila tag that was still showing through there. And the grit from the clear gesso is really great because it really holds that water in place and didn't let it move around the tag very much. So I just did some magic and worked it with the heat tool until it was dry. And then you get these kind of like cool little pooly areas. I love it. And this is the prompt element, and I am deciding that the prompt element itself doesn't really fit in very well, so I'm taking those scraps of tea bag and I've wrapped them around it and then stitched it so that it's all glued down and not really glued, but attached. And then I'm putting some plus signs with my micron, and while I'm doing that, I'm like, well, I kind of want to test it out and see how far I want my plus signs to go and how they're going to look. And I realized that I actually really like the prompt upside down. We didn't tell you how you had to use these prompts. You don't even have to use them. The 5-minute challenge is just open to anybody that wants to play. And so in this case, I'm using the prompt upside down. So you can't even see the prompt that it says tea bag or that it's blue or anything like that. But I did get the plus signs from the prompt. And I am still using the actual prompt just upside down. And I really love it. And I'm just going to Fabri-Tac the crap out of it. Lots and lots of thick glue. And I love it. I did think here at the end, like maybe I should have put my little plus signs like in white now that I have that white kind of showing through. But it is what it is. And I really like it. It's a pretty neat tag. Lots of texture elements. Don't forget, these are what the elements look like. There is an optional 15th one if you want to do it. We always just throw another one because there's 3 founders, and so then we each provide 3 founders who each provide 5 prompts. Here are some close-up shots. Join the Ugly Art Club. Come be one of us. We'll be so glad to have you. Asta.